We want to bring in our special guest who was kind enough to join us on short notice. He is one of my favorite guys. He has a lot of energy. He has a little bit of edge to him. He is from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. He and Doug, you and him kind of got something in common now with his uniform number 5. So let me hopefully I didn't get a chance to go through this, but hopefully I pronounced this correctly. Let me bring in our starting rover this year, Mr. Mychale Salahuddin. How did I do? Is that close?
Mychale Salahuddin. You almost close, man.
Man, listen. I was practicing all
You just
day.
butchered the man's name, man.
Nah,
you butchered.
Hey,
so it's
I've
Michael.
been doing it my whole life.
They really got you at the spring game.
Man, it was awful.
They had like 4 times, and usually, the PA announcer is on point, but they tried everything. They said Mychale, they said Michael. They started throwing in like syllables where they didn't even need to be, so it was wild.
It's all good. I'm gonna make sure they get it right this year.
Say it one more time.
Mychale Salahuddin.
Mychale Salahuddin.
Yes, sir.
Got it. We'll not forget it.
My man, how y'all doing today?
Hey, we doing
awesome.
Doing
great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
So you like our first big guest of 2022 off season. And I guess the football season is a couple of weeks away in earnest for you guys. Y'all about to start up getting that training in. What are you back in Greensboro now?
Yes, sir. I just arrived back in Greensboro yesterday night. Got some good work in with the guys that's here this morning. We're just getting ready and prepared for summer 2 right now.
Summer school part 2. Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
When does fall camp officially begin for you guys?
I believe it begins at the end of beginning of August. I believe so. I really haven't got an exact date, but I definitely am August 1st. I should be expecting to put some type of helmets and shoulder pads on.
but I know you. I mean, you've been preparing. I've seen you around on social media. I've seen you, on the yard. You've been working nonstop since in the last season.
Definitely.
Talk a little bit about your preparation and that little all-season workout regimen.
Well, I just picked different workouts and regimens from different groups, different guys. I'm an independent guy. I kind of, just like to, get my work in on my own, kind of bring Stucky with me or one of my free safeties or one of my corners, just kind of get it in with my teammates. But I do like to, have some type of organization behind it. So I do, work out with a numerous of, trainers such as Grind. When I go to Pittsburgh, I kind of work out with 2 Tims. When I'm in Washington, D.C., I work out with, Coach Mo Gibson. So, I have a lot of different trainers that I'll train with.
Network. You got a network of guys.
A network in a circle that I have. But when I'm really, really, really getting it in, I'm with one of my teammates for sure. And so I just kind of, like to steal different techniques from all my trainers and just put it all in one bag.
All right. So look here, guys. Now, your story is so unique, and I want to start at the beginning. We're gonna get all through it. We got you here tonight. We're gonna hold you hostage for a few minutes at least and find your story. So, but right now you are playing the rover position, right? You're playing safety rover. Okay, kind of move around a little bit. And for the novice football fan, explain to them what your kind of primary responsibilities are on the football.
So my primary, I always have to stop the run. I'm the run guy. When that B gap opens, I'm the one that needs to be there first, causing havoc. If it's not a run read, my main priority, 9 times out of 10, is to protect the flats. Depending on the formation, I'll be high reading, the 3 receiver, or depending on the formation, I'll also be high, reading my 2-man, our coverage that we have when they're in, kind of like a queen set. So it really just depends on the formation. I'm kind of that free range, player on the defense. You can catch me down low in the flats. You can catch me up high, in the ball hawk kind of position, or you can catch me, in the box, fitting the run. So I'm just kind of that hybrid guy on the defense that you would need.
That Swiss Army knife that some people say. So listen, so you are pretty much taking over for our guy, Richie Kittles, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Richie Kittles, he was wearing number 5.
Yes, sir.
Last year you were wearing 21.
Yeah.
And as soon as he his playing days were over, as soon as he graduated, left that field, it took you about 5.5 seconds to go ahead and take his number. And Doug, so he is part of the Fabulous Five Club. Tell me, why did you want to make that uniform change? What was the point of that?
Shout out to the Metro Bengals. That's my Pop Warner team I used to play with.
Okay.
That team taught me so much. My coaches, those are like father figures to me. You know, he taught me so much. One of the biggest quotes that I always remember from that program, you know, hard work always beat talent when talent fails to work hard. And so, you know, that organization has done everything for me. So representing that number on this big stage this year, that's gonna mean something.
And this is your youth program in Northeast DC?
Yeah, Northeast Washington, D.C.
Northeast, okay.
Right there on the line, right there on the Mason-Dixon line, right there, Capitol Heights, right there on that line, right there by Watts football field.
Okay. Stomp ground. So, you know Walter Reed Hospital?
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Okay. I was living over there for a brief, like about a couple of weeks. I was living over there when I was younger. Moved around a lot. But Doug, how you feel about this man joining that illustrious club of yours, man?
Hey man, Mike know, man, we happy to have him, man. He represents the number well. Of course, that's a playmaking number, and Mike's definitely a playmaker, man. It don't matter whether he's back there, getting his hands on the ball, returning a kick, or if he's back there on defense, man, he's ready to rock. He's definitely stepped right into that role, man. So I'm excited, man. I was a guy who I wanted to step on defense a little bit just for a tad, Obviously want to touch the ball first, but hey, I'm excited to see him over there. He's representing well. Of course, he's gonna be dripped down. He got all his gear together already. So Mike ready to go, man. Excited over there.
Appreciate you.
Hey, yo, Mike excited about it. He named a few places he was training, but he failed to say who he's training with. I mean, he's training with the best of the best, NFL stars and other college guys, man. So I'm glad to see that he's bringing his teammates along. That's a team first approach, man. And that's the biggest compliment I can give you, man. You stepped right in as an Aggie who was highly talented, when you transferred in. And, we know you had all the stars behind your name. I don't think they had enough room to add another one. But step right in, man. You've been a team first guy. I know that it was an adjustment for you, man, because, I mean, you used to be in the lights and have a call, man. And I watched you a lot this year from the sidelines and watched the role you played, man. And I saw you try to get in there and do what you could do and pick the guys up, man. So I see you working, man. I see you getting it in. I see you got the boys doing Nordics, man. You can I don't know what a Nordic is, but man, you had me trying to see if I can still do one. But impressed with it, man. Keep at it, and we behind you, man, 100%.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, family.
So, Mike, I mean, you obviously have taken over that leadership role, and I mean, you done that pretty quickly. Even at the beginning of last year, when you were just still there, like kind of your first year in Aggie land. What is it about your personality that made you want to just take the reins and step up?
Man, I never really was the type of guy really pressed for the C on my chest. After coming off the season we had last year, I've never lost that many times in my life. Like no football program at all. I've never been on a losing streak like that. And so just coming into this season, something has to change. The scenes we had last year, they were vocal, but they wasn't vocal in action, And so I just chose a different approach this year. I just feel like if we lead by action rather than speaking this year, I believe we'll solve a lot more problems. And so, each one teach one. You're doing something, bring the next guy along. That's kind of just been the approach this off season. And so, if it's really sparking into a leadership role, then that's great. But I'm just really better about wins, So if I can bring, if the young guys see us doing it, then they'll do it when we graduate, and then it'll start that train back, because this is a championship program. So
yes, sir.
Back to the old guys, figure out how they used to run things, figure out what we were doing wrong, and just get back to the basics. So I think we got a few more screws, to tighten up, before we get to camp. But I think that we're around where we need to be.
Mike, man, you speak with such maturity, man. And I mean, obviously we talked about the leadership, but you also seem to be a man of faith, man. And you walk a really strong walk. And we had a teammate you remind me of, a guy named Jamal Jones, who was also from DC. He played at DeMatha High School, went to Carolina, and was an ACC transfer as well. Talk to us about how your faith really helps you along your walk, and how that's helped you become a better teammate.
Well, I'm actually Muslim, and I really wasn't big on faith until my injury. When I was in Pittsburgh, I really don't really like to speak on it, but I had a crazy, crazy injury with my knee, and I was like faith really like it was cool to. It really wasn't like important. I wouldn't say non-important. That it wasn't non-important to me. I just didn't spend as much time as I should have on it. And so after that injury, I converted to the Nation of Islam. So since then, that's probably been about 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, about 5 years now with the Nation of Islam. So I just feel like, being a Salahuddin, I just, had to fulfill some shoes, and just get back to the roots.
What's the mosque number up there in DC now? What was that mosque?
I'm not sure. I haven't been to the mosque in DC. I go to the one here in Greensboro, and I converted when I was at the mosque in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Okay, gotcha. Well, check this out. Let's just start at the beginning of high school, and because DC is known for its basketball players. It's known for its boxers. You got a lot of world champion boxers come out of DC.
Yeah.
And football. That's tons of athletes, but you don't think of DC as like a football, mecca, right? So when you were coming out of what was it, Woodson High School?
Watch H.D. Woodson.
H.D. Woodson, right? You started just kind of making a lot of noise, getting a lot of attention, and I think when you graduated, you were the #1 prospect in the entire city. That was consensus. That wasn't just me and a couple other people. Like everybody was like, "This is the guy," right?
Yeah.
4-star. I guess you were running back, and you also played a little defense, but mostly running back.
Mm-hmm.
You got that offer to Pittsburgh. First of all, what made you want to go to Pittsburgh out of all the opportunities you had?
Well, I was committed to Southern California. A week before signing day, Coach Dylan McCullough, which is my running back coach, he said that he had got a job with the Kansas City Chiefs. And so I had to make some decisions. And Pittsburgh, that's where I felt most comfortable in that week time frame before signing day. So I had to commit to Pitt.
And you obviously went to Pittsburgh as a running back, right? So you talked about the injury, and that kind of set you back, derailed you a little bit. What was the motivation factor of thinking about maybe trying to play the other side of football? Because,
well, I've always played defense my whole life, but just the reality of being an HBCU athlete, just the reality behind it. You have your Tariq Cohens, you have your Jermaine Martins, but you also have your Mac McCains, and so when you put yourself in those shoes of just reality checking life, I just feel as though, HBCU safety who's 5'11", 210 pounds coming down and catching picks, can get a higher bag than a 210 running back coming from an HBCU, So I just put myself in the shoes, one of them guys who has to make a critical decision in these next 2 years. I made that a year ago, and I've been talking to Coach Lance and Coach Walsh. We've been made that critical decision of what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and that's backpedaling, catching interceptions, and coming up and tackling people. And so I feel as though that's where the money is.
But that had to be a leap of faith, though, because, I mean, like I said, you're a 4-star, nationally heralded running back. And, I mean, I got some videos of you on Huddle, just sick. It looked like Reggie Bush highlights. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It was bananas.
Hey, my playmaker, man, my comparison on the defensive side of the ball, I think he's got some Ed Reed in his game, in his movement a little bit. I think for sure the best is yet to come, but you're gonna see Mike show up for sure.
I've been trying to get Coach Poole to put me back there and kick return. So
Well, look, we got a, and Craig, you remember we got a glimpse of really Mike in action. I mean, you played
Right.
a lot last year. You played 10 games, I think. You know, in
Yeah, Coach Lance kind of put me in there a little bit towards the end of the year, let me
Yeah.
kind of move around and stuff like that. So it felt good. I believe the Hampton game is, if you put on that second half of the Hampton game, you'll really see number 21 out there a lot. So if
Hey,
you were to kind of get off the podcast and wanted to, see a little bit of film, I believe that Hampton game and that Charleston Southern game last year is definitely
Yes.
two games where I showed up a lot. And so it definitely let me boogie last year for sure.
And we watched. I saw you stick your nose in there in the spring game.
Yep.
We're on everything.
Yeah. The spring game was where your coming out party, in my opinion, because you came off that edge. And what's our big running back's name?
Charlie.
Yeah. And
I got to deal with him all camp.
Yeah, Dixon. Yeah, you was the only one who I ain't gonna call nobody out. But in my opinion, you was the only one who had no trepidation with sticking your nose in there and putting that shoulder pad on, because everybody else kind of had to clench up a little bit.
Now my teammates got Big Charlie, but it's definitely a hot check when you're dealing with Charlie. So the Big South got something to play with. They not, it's nothing to play with when you're dealing with Charlie.
Hey, these young boys call that TOH, a test of heart.
Definitely a test of heart when you're dealing with Charlie.
When you coming down that hill, when he's coming full speed, but we saw you come in the backfield a couple of times off that edge.
Definitely.
And I in that South Carolina was it not Gardner Webb, it was Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern, when you was on there, you actually lined up as almost like a 9 technique.
Yeah, that was what game was that? That was Hampton.
Okay.
We were in like a little 30 web package, and they had me at DN a few times, just rushing off the edge, just trying to, figure out all type of ways to get me involved last year.
So that's gonna be nasty with your athleticism. I mean, you're not gonna get no left tackles and put their hands on you.
Definitely.
So it's is gonna be a win-win.
And your smarts too, man. That's showing up on the interview, but it also shows up in the classroom, I believe. I mean, were you a 4.0 guy somewhere in there, man?
Oh yeah, I sparked up there in the 4.0s through the COVID situation. Right now they kind of dropped a little bit, just how much is going on right now, but I'm definitely still over that 3.0 range for sure.
That's awesome. Great. That's awesome.
All about.
So tell us, Michael, what was the transition to A&T? I know you said you wanted to come to an HBCU, but what was that initial transition like, coming from a Power 5 ACC school to, at the time, we were still the creme of the creme of HBCU football.
No, definitely.
That
transition was amazing. Just being able to reunite with people of the same, just being able to reunite. It felt like home. It felt like home, man. I was able to transition well academically. I was able to transition well with my living conditions. The crib that I'm living in, they took care of me nice with the living conditions of off campus. They took care of me nice. The transition was well. Made sure my classes were organized. Made sure the eating facilities are well. The football facility is top notch. I transitioned in very well. I feel at home.
Gotcha. And so Craig, what are you expecting from this guy this year, man? Because you've been watching a lot of football in your day. And I tell you, man, he's my guy. I put a little star by number 5 as soon as I saw him in the spring. I was like, okay, we got one there.
Well, Rover is the heart and soul of the defense that we run under Sam Washington. No doubt about it. Without a Rover, we're lost. So I suspect Mychale is probably going to open a whole lot of eyes, not only in Greensboro, but in the NFL. Scouts they'll be coming down through here.
Yeah.
Young man, you're extremely talented. Sky's the limit. Your leadership skills was what I really think will make a huge difference on that defense this year.
Definitely. So look here, Michael. So we got you at the Rover, right? On the other side of the field, we got Big Joe Stuckey, right?
Yes, sir.
And then inside, you take your pick. We got Jacob. You might have King. You know, who else we looking at that linebacker? Who's somebody's a factor? Is
Don't
Cayenne
forget
coming
about
back?
Kyan Howard.
So
Don't
Cayenne's
forget
coming
about
back.
Kyan Howard.
Cayenne's coming back.
I don't forget
Then again,
about
I shouldn't even have said that. I should have just
no,
let him
no,
sneak
no,
up.
no. Listen.
I should have just let him sneak up.
Listen, don't blame me. Blame A&T because I don't know if he's graduated, if he got another year left. He could.
I should have let Big Kyan sneak up.
Man,
Hey, all I need to tell you, Kyan's in tip-top shape right now.
so he lost a couple LBs.
Yeah, you're gonna see a wonderful Kyan Howard, a transformed Kyan Howard. So number 3, he's wearing 3 right now. I believe he's gonna make a huge transition this year.
I got you, man. I got you. Give me one more guy to watch for. Tell me one more dark horse that people are sleeping on right now on that defense.
Jermaine McDaniel.
Oh, okay.
Jermaine McDaniel. I just feel as though, he's just frustrated with frustrated with not getting the acknowledgement he deserves. He's in the backfield in the blink of an eye. Like,
yeah.
And when he's in the boundary on my side, his communication is so well. We're able to anticipate things before it happens. Like we're able to communicate. Okay, their hands are heavy. Their hands are heavy in the dirt right now, man. All right. Well, I'm going to cheat closer to the line, closer to you, so I can get closer to my B guy. Like that's just stuff Maine is able to communicate with being in the game for so long, and so it's just a blessing to have him around.
Okay, hey. Mr. Need No Introductions. That's what I used to call him when he first stepped on the field. Yeah. His first game at A&T, he had like 3 sacks against Elon. So
yeah, animal.
He's an animal. And then we got that secondary that's revamped. You got your boy Karan Prunty, from Kansas.
Yeah, he's a lockdown.
Amir still Amir. He ain't going nowhere.
Don't forget about a very young Cole.
Hey, that's Doug.
Don't forget about Cole.
No, I wasn't aware of Cole, but Doug pulled me to the side and like this guy got next up.
Yeah.
And he looks the part.
Different.
He's different. He looks the part.
He's different.
Hey, Mike, I'm getting kind of excited right now, man.
When I'm not on the field, it we won't miss a beat. Like, what's going to be the hardest part this year is trying to figure out how we can get me, him, and Stuckey on the field at the same time. That's what we're going to have to try to figure out. And so it's going to be amazing for this defense on what we can do.
That's what I call one of those good problems to have, though. You
know?
And somebody who's going to have to be responsible for that decision is your new defensive back coach.
Yeah.
Mr. Jason, I can't mess up 2 names in one show. So
I actually don't want to mess up his name as either. So I just been calling him Coach right now until I get the name down. So
hey, Craig, take a shot at it. You got Mike Renas.
Yeah, it's Greek.
It's Greek. Jason, say one more time. Let me get it right.
You have to pronounce it the way it's spelled.
Okay.
Now you made me forget what I was saying. Macarinas.
Okay.
No. Macarinas.
It's Coach Marinos.
No, it's a K in there.
It's a K.
All I have to say is he's a wonderful coach.
That's it. How about that?
He's got credentials.
All right,
Coach just brought a lot of knowledge to the room. A lot of knowledge. With the information that Coach Walsh has and the new school information that coach is bringing to the table, it's wonderful.
So has those I guess the assimilation of those new coaches on the staff, has that been smooth and well received by everybody?
Definitely been smooth. Those coaches have stepped in, gave great introductions and just came in like they were family.
That's awesome. And I see those guys on social media too. Those guys got a little bit of new school in them.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. So Mike, we're gonna let you go. But one thing I know about DC guys, from I stayed in Alexandria growing up for a minute. I've been in the city. DC guys, it's not negative, but y'all known for having some hustle in you. You guys can make things happen, right? Make $1.15. But this whole name, image, and likeness phenomenon is going on in college sports right now. Do you have anything that we can tap into as far as your own personal brand that that you got going on?
Well, I have a few shirts and things of that nature, but with the NIL thing, nothing big has really came across. My forte. I'm kind of one of those guys that's in the back street right now. They waiting on me to make some plays.
Yeah. But once that happens, though, it's gonna be like wildfire.
It's definitely going to be a wildfire, and I really haven't, took a look into it. I've had a few small things like Cameo come across, a few people who's putting names on shirts and things of that nature, but I really haven't dove into the whole name and image likeness. I still get up and go to work some days, and so.
And we'll check this
Michael,
out.
Michael, what's your major?
I'm
What's
doing
your
liberal
major?
studies. I was doing mass media communication, but it was just a little too much, Mr. Turner.
I can understand that.
So you cut off. Say it again. What is your major?
Oh, liberal studies right now.
Liberal studies. Okay, I got you. Okay. Well, check this out, man. As soon as you if you get a deal or whatever, you get like a website that you want to promote, let us know, because we'll put that on Front Street on the website, put a link to it and everything. I got my killer Cam.
Okay, now
Cam Langley, our basketball star. He has his own brand, and I've been wearing this religiously everywhere I go. And I'm the coolest dude in town when I got this on. So and I know Stucky has some t-shirt stuff, right? He had like a little clothing line.
Yep, Stucky has a little brand. Definitely is. I believe it's called Love, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Definitely a little clothing brand going on right now. But I was in the works of some gear, but I kind of put that in the back burner. We got to win championships right now.
I hear you.
It's been straight work. It's nothing but football, eat, sleep, watch film with Coach Lance, wake up again, do it again, and so. I'm just hoping to pay off for this year.
Hey, man, that's good stuff, Mike. Hey, before we go, man, I also want to thank you, man. We appreciate what you've done to elevate HBCUs and Black college football, man. From the moment that you came on board, not only have you went to work, man, but you continue just to elevate and continue to repeat, hey, this is why I'm here. I'm home. There's no place like home, and just putting the NT on that platform. And I think that's important going forward, man. So you always want to give back and show the next person the way. So definitely. That you champion that, man, and like we said, man, you part of the 5 family, so we got you, dog.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, family.
Got 5 on it. All right, Mike. So we're gonna let you go, man, but definitely gonna be tapping into you throughout the season. Just want to, wish you the best of luck. I know you're working hard. You're getting those other boys in line. You get that natural leadership skills. And I told you about that on the sideline when I saw you. I was like, man, you got that vibe, man, and we need you. We need that infusion of that maturity, like Doug says, some of that DC toughness. You ain't going for anything.
No.
You're gonna lay the law down, and that's perspective that you have, man. So keep it up. Got a little bit of headless horseman in you, man. You don't know what that is, Antoine Wilder.
Yeah. So lately, I've been watching a lot of Jeremy Taylor and Antoine. That's 2 guys I've just been.
Oh man, okay.
So from pulling tools from their bag right now. That's all I'm doing.
And so that's awesome. That's awesome for you guys to, the old and the current guys to still tap in and share the information, man. That's what Blue Def is all about, man. It's timeless.
Every game, I'm still have yet to watch a game where Jeremy Taylor doesn't catch a pick.
Yeah. That last season was crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to throw it to you. All you got to do is catch it and knock it down.
Definitely.
That's it. All right, Mike. So thank you so much for coming out tonight. I know you got a busy schedule. We're going to let you go. But best of luck. Stay healthy. Keep working hard. We're going to see you pretty soon, a couple of weeks here at outside that practice field at Aggie Stadium. You guys gonna be laying the lumber out there. Can't wait. That new and improved Blue Depth secondary.
Sounds good. I appreciate y'all for having me.
No problem. Thanks a lot, man. Take care.